At my sister's wedding, I gave a toast about love and loyalty. My husband smiled the whole time, holding my hand. An hour later, I went to the bridal suite to find my purse, and found him shirtless, locked in a whispered argument with my cousin. When I said his name, they both froze. I turned, walked back into the reception, took the mic, and said, "Let's add a new tradition, catch the groom's brother-in-law cheating. Right now. Upstairs. I'm 37. My name's Heather. I live in Springfield, Missouri. I've been married to Brad for 8 years. No kids, but we'd been trying. I thought I was just stressed, maybe that's why nothing was happening. Now I wonder if it was something else, maybe I wasn't the only one he was sleeping with." The wedding was last Saturday. My younger sister Natalie got married to a guy named Travis. Sweet guy. Too quiet, but he treats her right. They'd been planning the wedding for over a year. It was at a vineyard just outside of town. Gorgeous place. Think big oak trees, white chairs, fairy lights, and old barns turned into reception halls. Natalie asked me to be her maid of honor, and I didn't hesitate. I love her. We've always been close. Not perfect, but close. The morning of the wedding was chaos in that bridal suite. Curling irons everywhere, someone crying about fake eyelashes, mimosa glasses in every corner. I helped Natalie pee in her dress. I kept her calm when her nail broke right before the ceremony. Brad was downstairs, helping the guys, checking in on things. Every time I saw him that day, he was smiling. Holding my hand. Pulling me aside to kiss my cheek and tell me I looked beautiful. He held my hand during the ceremony. He stood beside me at the head table. He clapped during my toast. That toast. God. I stood up with my little champagne flute and poured my heart out. I talked about loyalty. About what it means to show up for someone every day even when life gets ugly. I talked about how marriage wasn't about the big moments, it was about the little ones. Like changing the oil for her car because she forgets. Or making his lunch every morning just the way he likes it. Everyone clapped. People wiped their eyes. Brad had his hand on my leg the whole time. He kissed me when I sat down. Told me he was proud of me. That was 6:15 p.m. Around 7:30, I realized I left my purse upstairs. The bridal suite was just above the reception hall, and no one was really going up there anymore. I didn't think anything of it. I walked up the old wooden steps, heels in one hand, a little tipsy from the wine. I pushed open the door, and froze. Brad. Shirtless. Megan standing close. Too close. Megan is my cousin. My mom's sister's daughter. She's 33, twice divorced, and has a habit of flirting with any man that breathes. I always brushed it off because, well, she's family. And she never crossed a line. Until now. Her lipstick was smudged. Her dress strap had slipped off her shoulder. His shirt was balled up in his fist. Their voices were low but frantic. Like they were arguing but trying not to be heard. I said, "Brad?" They both jumped like I'd shot a gun. She looked at me, wide-eyed. He turned around, mouth open, as if trying to form a lie fast enough. But nothing came out. My purse was sitting on the couch. I didn't even grab it. I turned, walked out, and closed the door behind me. I felt nothing. Not at first. Not anger. Not sadness. Just this cold, sharp quiet in my head. Like everything had snapped into place. I walked straight back downstairs. No plan. Just clarity. The DJ was playing Bruno Mars. People were dancing, laughing, drunk and happy. I walked to the booth, asked him to cut the music, and took the mic. I said, "Hi. Sorry to interrupt. I just thought we should start a new tradition today. Catching the groom's brother-in-law cheating. Right now. Upstairs. In the bridal suite. Silence. I mean dead silence. Then a few gasps. One woman dropped her glass. I saw Natalie's face crumple in confusion. I put the mic down and walked out. Got in my car. Drove home. That was 4 days ago. I haven't heard from Brad since the wedding night. Not once. No texts. No calls. He didn't come home. My mom's blowing up my phone. Megan's mom texted me, "Please don't ruin the family." I didn't respond. Natalie said she went upstairs and found them fully dressed, acting like nothing happened. But she knows. She saw the look in my eyes. She's on my side. I filed for a separation Monday. I've frozen the joint bank account. Changed the locks. Called our realtor to put the house on the market. I'm not done. Not even close. Megan's ex-husband? He and I got drinks last night. Turns out Brad wasn't the only married guy she's messed around with. And she's been bragging about my husband to one of her friends, who screenshotted their texts and sent them to me anonymously. So now I have proof. Now I have names. And now, I have a plan. I didn't cry until Tuesday morning. Not when I found them. Not when I called out Brad's name. Not when I blew up the wedding. But when I woke up alone in our bed, sunlight coming in through the blinds, and realized the house was dead quiet, that's when it hit me. I lay there with my face buried in the pillow, sobbing so hard my ribs hurt. But it only lasted an hour. After that, I got up, showered, dressed, and started digging. Brad had been using our shared laptop. Dumb move. He never cleared the browser history. I found his email open, he had it set to auto-login. There were deleted messages with Megan. Some had been wiped, but Gmail keeps threads. I pulled up weeks' worth of emails, many with just subject lines like "last night" or "can't stop thinking about it." One said, "I know it's wrong but I can't stop. I'll leave her eventually." My heart twisted reading that. Leave her eventually. He meant me. And this had been going on for at least 6 months. But that's not even the worst part. I found a receipt in his email inbox. A hotel in Kansas City. Room booked under his name and hers. 2 nights, Valentine's Day weekend. Valentine's Day. He'd told me he was going to a work retreat. That weekend, he brought me back a cheap coffee mug with a stupid quote on it, "Hustle, then wine." I remember smiling when he gave it to me. I wanted to smash it to pieces. I didn't just sit with this. I printed everything. Emails. Hotel receipts. Screenshots from Megan's texts, thanks to the anonymous sender. I put it all in a folder and dropped it at my lawyer's office. I called Brad's boss next. I know, people say don't mix revenge with someone's job. But here's the thing, Brad works in public service. Local government, parks and rec. He signs contracts. Manages public funds. Part of his ethics clause? No moral misconduct that may reflect poorly on the city. I didn't tell them about the affair. I told them about the work trip lie and the misuse of public funds. Because it turns out, that hotel was booked with his work card. He's currently under internal review. Then I hit Megan. I found out she's in the process of trying to get custody of her daughter back from her ex. Her daughter lives full-time with the dad, and Megan's been trying to get more time. I called the ex, Jake. We had another drink, and I told him everything. Gave him the screenshots. Let him read the texts where Megan talked about sneaking men into her apartment while her daughter was asleep. He said, "Jesus. She always said you were stuck up. But I guess you're the only one in that family with a moral compass." He's already filed to amend the custody case. By Wednesday, Brad finally texted me. "Brad, can we talk?" I didn't answer. Then he emailed. "Brad, email Heather. I made a mistake. I was drunk. It meant nothing. I was stupid. I still love you. Please let's fix this. I printed it, added it to the divorce file. My mom wants me to stop. She said, "You've made your point. Don't make a bigger mess." I told her this wasn't about mess. This was about making sure they feel it. Every second. Every breath. I didn't start this. But I'm going to finish it. Thursday morning, I got a call from Brad's mom. Now, let me be clear, she and I have never been close. She's always been polite but cold. I chalked it up to generational stuff. She didn't like that I made more money than Brad for a while. Didn't like that I didn't want to quit my job to support his career. We tolerated each other. Until now. She starts the call like this: "Heather, I don't know what you think you're doing, but this has gone far enough." I didn't say anything. Just waited. "You've made your point," she said. Brad's suffering. Megan is family. If you care about keeping peace in this family, I hung up. That same afternoon, Natalie called me. Not to scold me. To warn me. Apparently, Megan's spinning a new version of the story to the family. She's saying I made it up. That I was drunk and jealous. That Brad and her were just talking and I misread the situation. She even told someone I had a history of overreacting. That lit a fire in me I didn't know I had left. So I did something I wasn't proud of, but I needed leverage. I went back to our house, well, my house now, while Brad was at work. I still had access to the security system. I pulled the footage from 2 weeks ago when Brad worked late and Megan's car pulled into our driveway. She stayed for 2 hours. Lights went out. Bedroom camera caught silhouettes. I had shut the audio off months ago thinking it was creepy, but I never disabled the feed. I took stills from the footage. I didn't blast them online. I sent them quietly, one by one. To Megan's parents. To Brad's sister. To his boss. No words. Just timestamps and screenshots. Brad's sister, Emily, who I never got along with, actually called me crying. She said, "I believed him. I told people you were lying." "I'm sorry." I said, "Then tell them you were wrong." Then came the twist I didn't see coming. Friday night, I got a knock at my door. It was a woman. Maybe late 20s. She looked nervous. Pale. "Are you Heather?" she asked. I said yes. "I'm sorry to show up like this. My name's Danielle. I think I'm pregnant with your husband's baby." I swear, for a second, the air left my lungs. She held out her phone. Messages. Photos. A positive test with his name written on the stick. A screenshot of a Cash App transfer. Brad sending her $300 labeled doc visit. She said they'd been seeing each other for a few months. He told her he was working on leaving me. The same words he used with Megan. I asked her, "Did he ever mention Megan?" She shook her head. "Who's that?" "He was cheating on both of us, at the same time." I gave her my lawyer's card. She gave me copies of everything she had. I added them to the file. And that night, I sent one final message to Brad. I didn't scream. I didn't threaten. I sent him one line: "You should start packing. Because next week, I'm taking everything. The house. The car. The dog. The reputation. And he can keep the chaos he created." I didn't respond to Brad's message. Instead, I served him divorce papers at work. He was walking into City Hall, holding a coffee and talking to a coworker. My process server handed him the envelope right on the steps. His face dropped. He looked up and saw me watching from across the street. I didn't wave. I didn't smile. I just turned and walked away. By Monday, his review turned into a suspension. The city put him on unpaid leave pending a full investigation. Not just because of the hotel receipt, but also because of Danielle. Turns out she was 23. Intern for the city's communications office. It broke every kind of ethical line. They gave him the option to resign quietly. He did. I sold the house within a week. All the furniture? I listed it on Facebook Marketplace and let it go for cheap. Except the mattress. I paid a junk service to come and burn it in front of me. It felt like cleansing. I kept the dog. She sleeps on a new bed now, in a new apartment I rented downtown. As for Megan, she lost her custody battle. Jake used everything. The texts. The visits. The instability. Judge ruled that her daughter would remain with him full-time, and Megan's visitation would be supervised for 6 months. She tried to message me. Sent a long email saying she wasn't in her right mind and that she never meant to hurt me. Said Brad manipulated her. That it was emotional, not physical. I sent back one word, liar. My mom cried when I told her I wasn't coming to Thanksgiving if Megan was there. I said, you can see me, or you can see her. You don't get both. She chose her niece. So I spent the holidays with Natalie instead. We drank boxed wine, watched horror movies, and she toasted me with a grin. To fresh starts, she said. 2 months after the wedding, I saw Brad one last time. It was a random Tuesday. Grocery store. I was picking up frozen peas. He looked thinner. Worn out. Alone. He came up to me, eyes red, holding some sad little basket with instant noodles and beer. Heather, he said. I didn't answer. He looked down, then back at me. I ruined everything. I nodded. Yeah. You did. He stood there for a moment like he wanted to say more. Maybe he thought I'd forgive him. Maybe he thought if he looked broken enough, I'd show mercy. But I didn't. I turned and walked away. I wish I could say I came out of this clean. But I didn't. I was cruel. I exposed him. I lit the bridge on fire and danced in the smoke. I didn't give people room to lie their way out, I forced them to sit in it. I don't regret it. But I know I became someone I didn't recognize for a while. That version of me? She doesn't live here anymore. Now, I wake up alone. And yes, it's quiet. Sometimes too quiet. But it's honest. There's peace in that. And the next time I toast at a wedding, I won't talk about love and loyalty. I'll talk about truth. And I'll mean every word,